on the ALC Sidelines podcast. I cannot believe the season is upon us. It is late January. Games are hours in some cases away. They do have some games coming up for you in the month of January to start the year as quickly. It's amazing how fast the season comes up as soon as we get back from the Christmas and holiday break. Fall ball is done. It's starting to get into maybe one more scrimmage for some teams here and there, but most of it is all systems go as we get set for another season in the ALC. It's very, very exciting. Both divisions really wide open. The Division One, so many question marks on who's going to jockey for position. We did get a poll from the coaches that we'll show you later in the show when we're done with our interview, and that'll be a lot of fun as well. And then Division Two, again, we had a surprise winner last year with Wake Forest getting the championship and going to the MCLA tournament, and Virginia Tech knocking off Charlotte, and all these crazy things going on. So plenty of wide open spaces, plenty of chances to be a champion in the Atlantic Lacrosse Conference. Please remember, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, ALC Sports Network, and of course on our socials at Atlantic Lacrosse Conference on Instagram and at Atlantic LC on X. I'm Dan Zumpano. This is going to be a good show. I'm very excited for our guests today. We're going to be talking with two young men from the Kentucky men's lacrosse team, and you'd think lacrosse in Kentucky, well, maybe horse racing. I don't know about lacrosse, but it's true, and it's there. And it's their second year in the MCLA after they transferred over from the nickel, as some people like to call it, in the NCLL. And now they're kind of making that leap now. You get 1 year under your belt, feeler year, I think we would say. But this year, I think they're really prime and ready to maybe shake it up and shake up things inside the Division One level of the ALC, which has no divisions this year. So it's just the whole conference, top to bottom. So a good opportunity for them. So without further ado, we're going to be talking to the president and vice president of the Kentucky men's lacrosse team. That is Conor France and Chandler Newton, coming up right now. Okay, here on the ALC Sidelines podcast, we are here with the president and vice president of the Kentucky men's lacrosse team. This is Conor France and Chandler Newton. Gentlemen, welcome in.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you. First off, Chandler, love the drip. The drip is for real. This is the kind of thing we're saying. If anybody feels obligated to send anything, we will wear it on the show. Don't care. The hat is beautiful. I really love it. Well, obviously last year being the first year for Kentucky in the MCLA, bumps in the road. Obviously, it's tough coming up from, a lower league and finding your way. And I'm just curious to what it was. Chandler, you talked about, you were there when Kentucky was in the nickel, and you guys had a lot of success in the nickel. But what was the biggest difference for you last year in terms of, maybe the opponents or logistics? What was different from then to now?
Honestly, for us, I think, the nickel, lower division, lower league, lower competition. I feel like at certain times we just kind of, lessened ourselves down, and we really just weren't thinking about the bigger picture of the year. We had a lot of good kids, I feel like, on our team. We had the roster, more than enough for the roster. But truly, honestly, our main thing was just getting guys to really sit down and be like, all right, let's put in work. We got to get better. We're upping our competition. So we have to up our play ourselves. And that was some thick that we've been trying to work through even now. But I feel like, we're on a great path now to hopefully try and work that out. But mainly just kind of taking that jump from the nickel to the MCLA was just, I think it was overwhelming.
Yeah. At what point in the season did you guys feel like, whoa, this is a different level of competition that we weren't used to?
Honestly, coming in when we played West Virginia in the fall last year,
Hmm.
Like, we had a great matchup against them. I think they got us by like 3, 4 goals, I'm going to
Hmm.
say. That was a great game. And, we came off that and, we were rolling high into the season. Um, and honestly, our first couple of games against like Indiana and Purdue. Indiana was kind of bad. And then Purdue, like we lost by one. I think Miami, Ohio, we lost by one. And like those close games, it felt like they just kind of set us back. And then from there, it was just like chasing, trying to get those wins back. And, it was a tough schedule. So it was just kind of hard to work itself out.
Sure. Um, Connor, for you, I mean, this has been a program that's been around for a long time. It's actually been around for over 30 years, and used to be an MCLA program. And I know that, as you transferred in last year, um, what were you expecting out of this, and why was Kentucky a place for you to say, I want to continue to play lacrosse? I don't know if you played in high school or not, but maybe you can give us some of your background as your lacrosse journey. But why Kentucky, and why here as it transferred over to a larger league?
Yeah, so I played Division 3 lacrosse down in Atlantic City, New Jersey at Stockton University.
Nice.
And then coming in, I mean, lacrosse has been part of my life. I was born outside of Philadelphia, so you kind of born with a lacrosse stick in your hand, and you either good at it or you find a different sport. So, but Kentucky for itself, I mean, the community around it is unbelievable. Our alumni association, like they care so much about it. And, like you said in the intro, you don't think lacrosse, but I mean, everyone buys in around here. Um, and it was really like seeing the guys, especially last year. I would text Chandler before I was transferring, and the sense of community that's around here for lacrosse is honestly it's unbelievable, and it just felt like home when I visited. So
Interesting. So I'm curious to you, like, what would you give as an assessment of last year in your lacrosse journey, and then as Kentucky's program continues to blossom into this new league?
yeah, last year was rough. I mean, there's no need to sugarcoat it. It wasn't great, but it was our first year in the MCLA, and I think a lot of the guys learned. We're a very young team. I think most of our starters were honestly freshmen and sophomores, so I think, kind of getting kicked around that first year was a lesson learned, and a lot of guys really bought in coming into this fall ball, and a lot of guys were really fired up to come back and prove ourselves.
Right, of course, and I think that's a sentiment after having a good year or a tough year is to get back and prove yourselves. And I think when we talked last year with Coach McCoon about what you guys wanted to see next year, he kind of talked about he wanted, first off, buy-in, right, and then second off, get stronger, lift more, which comes with buy-in naturally. I remember kind of hearing him talk about, we have the medicine game. It's kind of the brand of Kentucky lacrosse. Play fast, play elusive, try to make guys chase you. And I think that was a really interesting way to put it, especially with having a young team that, in a lot of ways, when you're a freshman and sophomore, you come in, you don't know any better. And you're just playing out. You're playing a lot of teams that, you might not be favored against, but there were some highlights from last year. You guys gave James Madison a really great run. That was a team that was in Final Four weekend. So can you talk about what you saw as improvements, and maybe what you're looking forward to in 2026?
Yeah, I think at the end of the year we had a big sit down, and this is when me and Chandler decided to take over as president and vice president,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of just had to sit down with the team and say, like, if you guys want to do better, if we want to be the team that I know we can be, we're gonna have to make some changes. And the guys were 100% bought in, and things started changing. We got guys lifting constantly, running, staying after practice, things like that. And I'm sure Newt can attest before I was there, but even last year, like that wasn't really around that much.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our older class, I mean, like previous graduating classes, being in the nickel, they were used to, a completely different game and mindset before going into a game. And, when we're trying to move that to MCLA where it's more competitive, teams are harder, like you have to prepare more. Some of those older guys just weren't really helping us out. But, I feel like we have a lot of guys now, and especially a lot of our younger guys. Everyone is really buying in, and like we're seeing leadership from our freshmen. We're seeing a lot of guys like on offense that are stepping up and actually starting to like be more vocal. And I feel like that's our biggest game changer right there for the year is just getting guys to come out of their shell more and become leaders, because at the end of the day, it is club lacrosse. We're just trying to produce like the best men that we can possible.
Mhm.
And, I feel like we got a great group this year, and everyone that I've seen so far has improved. So,
Well, everything I've heard from other coaches about your program is that you have a great logistical team behind with operations, and I think that was the highlight and maybe a lot of the reason to admitting you guys to the ALC was that you felt like this was a team that was going to eventually take it seriously. Can you talk about what kind of heavy lifting you guys have to do, especially coming from the nickel where there's not as much probably to deal logistically with? What are the biggest challenges for you guys, especially you guys, because you guys are running it operationally behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think a big thing is a lot of the other club teams I've talked to, they have a ton of support from like the school itself.
Mhm.
And Kentucky helps us in any way they can, but it's not as big as maybe the other bigger schools that we play or see. So a lot of it is only student ran. Everything we do has to come from us. It can't come from anybody outside. So I think those are some of the humps that we have figured out, but we're starting to, be a lot more organized and a lot more together, and it's definitely getting smoother.
As we move forward to this season, 2026, can you talk about some of the key players? You said that you guys were really young last year, right? What's the makeup this year of the grading of the classes, I should say? Because you said you had a lot of freshmen and sophomores. How many seniors are we running with, and is it still a young team, or are we growing?
still very young.
Mhm.
I want to say, I mean, we probably have 5 or 6 seniors now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, not too many upperclassmen. I mean, our juniors there, I want to say there's maybe around 10 of us, and then everyone else is sophomores and freshmen. So, I mean,
Wow.
we are super young. But like some of those standout guys, Felix Williams, I'll give props to him. He's from North Carolina, like great attackman. He's really stepped up this year. Like he's starting to become a leader more. Freshman on defense, Chase Moros. He's from Columbus. I think one thing that we really just kind of lacked on our team was just like some big size, like someone to come first off the bus and intimidate you a little bit. And
Mhm.
I think he'll do that. He's 6'8", so I mean he's got more than enough size. So he he's fun to watch though. He's a great player. So those two guys, I would say those they got my biggest props over the fall.
Nice. That's awesome. I would love to hear more about the team in general. Could you talk about maybe some of the key players? I know you had Will Gazaldo last year was kind of like the mainstay scorer. Pete Johnson was a big scorer for you guys. What is your play style, and how does that tailor to the rest of the roster?
I feel like our play style mostly is just like playing free.
Mhm.
Like we're big on that. I mean, just kind of letting the ball like do its own work. And obviously that has its benefits at certain times and its negatives. But guys like Guz, he's super creative. Like, I mean, if you watch our previous games, he's probably thrown a behind the back every single game, if not 2 or 3 times. Like stuff like that. I mean, our one of our previous players, Mikey Anacana, he's one of our coaches now, and he was a extremely just like free, creative player, and I think he's really trying to establish that into our offense this year. Um, I mean, back to Felix again, like he really fits into that creative slot. Another guy, Ethan Orloff. He's a freshman out of Florida, super creative kid. So I mean, honestly, I feel like I keep saying creative, but it is just trying to add more creativity, and because a lot of our guys can do these crazy stick tricks and crazy
Mhm.
goals and all these angles. So it's like, why not continue that if, that's what they're best at. So I feel
Sure.
like as an offense, that's what they're trying to push this year.
Sure. Connor, for you, I mean, being in the net is you probably have a good view of everybody and what their abilities are. Is there anybody that kind of we can highlight? I know we talked about Will and Peter and all those guys, but is there any other players that you would highlight on the team that you say, watch out for these players here this year?
Chandler's being humble. I know he missed a couple games last year, but I think if he didn't, he would have been on top of that list of one of the best defensemen in the conference. Caden Wilson. I mean, the other goalie, Bryce Mode. I think we're just defensively we're very aggressive, and I think it's going to make a lot of teams have to form their offense to us rather than our defense forms to them. Um, and we're gonna play fast on defense. We're gonna play aggressive. We're gonna slide. We're gonna make you not want to dodge.
Sure.
But those are some of the guys I would list, and you know, this year is gonna be a lot of fun.
Awesome. I mean, but talk about Coach McCoon for a second. He's a guy, Maryland dude, right? I mean, just from the hotbed. And honestly, he was a really interesting person to talk to. He had a lot of experience winning high school state championships and those things. Like, what does he bring to the table? He's been there a while, as I believe this is year number 4 for him. So what does he bring to the table, and what does he kind of preach to you guys in order to get you to the next level where you want to go?
Yeah, Taylor to us is he's the definition of a player's coach. He cares for every single one of us. I think I call him like 3 times a week, and it's always a great phone call. And he truly does care about every single person on our roster. And I know going back, like you said, he talks about that medicine game, and this kind of like helps us prepare a lot because we come to practice. You got all these outside distractions. You got school, you got work, you got X, Y, Z, and he really preaches is, hey, we got 2 hours to just play the sport that you love.
Mhm.
Let's have fun doing it, and let's just get better and grow together.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, Taylor's a very knowledgeable person, like you said, straight from the hotbed. He kind of always expresses us how, he lived in Salisbury's backyard and stuff like that. But I think a lot of us, like, see him as literally almost like an uncle or like a dad to us. Like he is almost like he is a father figure to us. But he's a great guy, and he helps out a ton with us and does a lot for especially for me and Conor. And because we take a lot of time like into this program, and he's always there. He's got our back, and we really appreciate him as a team. And I think you said maybe 4 years he was head coach. I want to recorrect that. I want to say he's on like year like the 12 or 13 now.
Okay.
So he's been going at it for a while now for you.
Yeah.
So all props to him.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean, and for you, Chandler, I mean, you got Conor here. He's from a hotbed in Philly in the New Jersey area. Your coach is from Salisbury, obviously big lacrosse thing. You're a local guy, right? Louisville, right? So what is the scene in the state of Kentucky with lacrosse right now?
So I would say probably about a year or two before I graduated. I was class of 2023. So I would say like that year or two before, you noticed a lot more recruits starting to come out of high school. Honestly, this past year, a lot of my good buddies that I played high school, Sam Alexander, like he's at now Jacksonville, Logan Bryan, he's at Fairfield. And, you got a couple of guys from our rival high school, they're going to D1, like places like Bellarmine, Marquette. So, I mean, the sport truly is growing in Kentucky, and it's awesome to see. I mean, I've been playing now since 3rd grade. I've always lived in Kentucky, and to see what it was when I was a kid to what it is now, honestly, like I love it. Like it makes me want to like get back to like involved with my community and give back to the sport of lacrosse like in Kentucky. Because obviously it's lacrosse and we're down south, so it's different. But the sport just got sanctioned in high school 2 years ago, so that was a huge step for our state. But I mean, besides that, the scene's growing. You got kind of like the northern Kentucky area, right outside of Cincy, and then Louisville. I would say that's probably the biggest area for lacrosse, and then Lexington, of course. Between those three, there's a good amount of teams playing.
So you guys are trying to become the poster board program in the state of Kentucky right now for lacrosse, which is amazing. I mean, I think it's a great thing. And especially, I mean, like we said, you've got players from hotbeds. I'm always interested in hearing those bigger states because we've talked to guys from West Virginia, growing so big in West Virginia, South Carolina, huge in South Carolina right now, the amount of guys that are playing. You go up even into the Northeast, into New Hampshire, in smaller states. I'm from Connecticut, so I'm used to seeing high-level lacrosse, and I just find it fascinating where more and more different places are starting to see the game grow, and I think it's great. Can we talk about the schedule a little bit and what's going to be going on? Like, what are we looking forward to? I know you got a kind of a front-loaded trip, really, and a ton of home games, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think we're really excited for this year, scheduling wise. I think we last year a lot of travel just because we were the new team on the block, so we owed a lot of away games. So it's nice that this year we have a lot of home games. But our away trips are really excited about opening up with Virginia Tech and UNC at Blacksburg. I mean, we were there for that fall meeting. It's a beautiful campus. Coaches and players are unbelievable, very nice. So
I have to say, but before you continue, I have to say, bring the wind jacket. It's just the windiest place to play. It's ridiculous, especially in February, but keep going.
Yeah. We get that here, so we're used to it a little bit. But yeah, we're really excited about that. And then we have a weekend off, and then we're at Clemson. We're really excited about. I think that's definitely one on our calendar that we've had circled. Definitely a team we'd like to maybe get a win back from.
Why circle that game in particular, you think?
I think that was definitely an eye-opening game for us last year. Wasn't fun, and I just think it's a good like setting stone for us that like we can compete with these teams.
Okay.
And that's nothing against Clemson. They run an unbelievable program there, and their coaches and their players are great. But that's one we have circled definitely.
Okay. And then any other choice ones you'd like to point out?
I would say personally, I mean, obviously West Virginia for us, they're pretty close. We've played them now. This will be our third time, since joining the MCLA. So we've had some, great matchups with them, and that's actually that week after Clemson. So we have leading up to spring break, I think our schedule is going to be really competitive. We started off March. A game we're really trying to push this year is our Tennessee game. We do it with Shootout for Soldiers every year. We're going to start that now. We did it last year. They made a barrel for us. Tennessee has it right now, and we've been thinking about it ever since. So, would like to see that barrel. But we got a big surprise for the guys for that game. So, kind of holding off for that, and then hopefully in the next month or so we can kind of start doing some teasers of that game. So
okay, I like that. We'll be looking out for that on social media, no question about it. As we transition forward, you look at the schedule and where it lays out, but how's the vibe and how's the appetite for lacrosse on campus there at UK? Because it's obviously not known for that, but it seems like it's really growing, and I think this move has helped. So what is the campus what is, I guess, the campus mood for you guys? Is there a lot of support around that?
I mean, I would definitely say, we have a lot of guys like in fraternities and stuff. So,
Mhm.
you see a lot of like support from those fraternities and guys like that. But besides that, it's pretty scarce around here because,
Sure.
it is Kentucky, so it's understandable. Um, but we've like our games like Louisville, and then when we've played Tennessee in the past, like those are big rivals for us, no matter what sport. So like you'll usually get like a good amount of people to show up for that. But we're really trying this year. We're trying to push more. I know we talked about I think like making posters and just like putting them up around campus just with our schedule because I mean, honestly, we just want to push people to come like to our games because not many people really know we're a team on campus, and then like when they do, they think it's the coolest thing ever. But also, the other half of the people just don't know what lacrosse is. So
That's always an uphill battle, obviously. But what's life like on campus there? I mean, Chandler, I know you've been there all your life, but Connor, you're coming from New Jersey. I mean, what is Kentucky? Is Kentucky have anything in particular that you take home and tell your friends about when you go back home?
I mean, it's got almost everything you could ask for. It's beautiful. Everyone here is that Southern hospitality is real. Uh,
Nice.
we don't get that too much in the Northeast, but
No, we
don't.
don't.
it's real down here, and it's beautiful. We have the horse racing in October and April, and the Bourbon Trail, and it's a great state. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful, and I mean, it's so nice. I stayed the whole summer out here, just living life with
Nice.
Chandler. So, but it's awesome.
Chandler, if you're head of tourism one day and you're giving future Wildcats a tour of the campus, what's the vibe? What am I looking at?
Uh, to be honest, the first thing I would probably do if I'm trying to get someone to come to Kentucky, I would take them to Kingland, which is our like local racetrack.
Nice.
I'm pretty involved with that, so I enjoy that particularly, like more than anything else. But I mean, besides that, you can never go wrong with a Kentucky basketball game. I mean, Rupp Arena is just awesome. I mean, I've grown up going there, so I absolutely love that place. I would probably take them to Kingland and then take them to Rupp, and after that, head out to a night at Jack Brown's, which is a great local restaurant we got here. And I think that would be able to get anyone to commit to the school.
So if the ALC Sports Network sends me to Lexington, Jack Brown's is where you're taking me, right?
Jack
Oh,
Brown.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. That's the move right there. You heard it here. I like this. I'm always looking for food in different places, so that would be amazing. Awesome. Well, shall we play a little game before we head out here? I think Chandler might do better at this game. I don't know. Connor's only been there for like a year. But we just wanted to give you just a couple of questions, nothing too crazy, but just a little pop quiz on maybe the history and maybe the tradition that surrounds the University of Kentucky. You guys ready? Okay. All right. So we just came up with a couple of questions, and we're just going to start right away. So here's the first question. The University of Kentucky adopted blue and white as its official colors back in 1892. Originally, however, Kentucky had decided on blue and what color for the 1891 football game versus Center College? What was Kentucky supposed to be? Blue and what?
Even I read this somewhere. I don't remember where I saw this. Is it yellow?
I was gonna say like gold, like
Yeah,
yellow.
I think it's gold.
Well, you guys are smart. You guys got it. It's light yellow is what they said. So light yellow. I would be really weird to see that now. But yeah, light yellow, which I thought was fascinating. Interesting color choice. I kind of like the blue and white though. I kind of, especially when it's checkered, at the football games and the basketball games. It's really cool. In 1869, the University of Kentucky graduated how many students? It was their first graduating class.
First graduating class.
Mm-hmm.
Can we like round here, like round up a little bit, or
It's not 30,000 like it is today. So
Like 650.
okay, Connor, you want to throw a bone and guess?
I'll shoot lower just to cover. I'll say 100.
Connor, you covered because the answer is 3. That's it. That's the answer. Just 3 people graduated. I don't know. They should really have a statue of those 3 people. I feel like if you're the first graduating class, it's small enough, right? I think it's kind of cool. All right, this is a more modern day question. Just out of curiosity, and we'll just give you, whoever gets closer gets the point. What is the female to male ratio at University of Kentucky?
Our nursing program's huge, so that
I will say my major is 95% women.
What's your major?
Equine sciences and management. It's horses.
Oh, okay. So you're all right. You really are a horse guy. Okay, I like that. Yeah, you are full true blue, like bluegrass and everything. That's great. I love that. What would you take a guess? Go ahead.
I'm gonna say 3-1.
3-1, so like 30, or that would be like 60%, I guess. I don't know, something like that. Okay,
Like 53%.
58%. So we both are on track in the area. I'll have to give it to Conor. I think he was just a slight closer. Although I guess it'd be like more like 66%. So we'll give you a tie there on that one. I think Chandler might get this one right away. How many national championships has the men's basketball team won at Kentucky?
8.
Bingo! Not even a doubt. Goodness, I love it. I have to say, I am a UConn fan, so I do appreciate the 2014 national championship game.
I was actually talking about that game yesterday with my roommate. That was a rough game.
Yeah, that was another magical run for the Huskies, but Kentucky always had these crazy freshmen, the Harrison twins and all that back then, so I remember those.
Hey, you had
days.
Kimball Walker.
Hey, that was pretty good too. That was pretty good. Not going to lie. We've had some good success up in Connecticut. Who is the only player from Kentucky to be drafted number 1 overall in the NFL draft?
Nate, do you know this?
No, I do not know this.
It's a little before you guys were not born yet when this happened, but it is not super. It's not super far in the past, but it's over 30 years.
My roommates are gonna kill me. They know this too.
Yeah, I have no idea. All my friends are gonna make fun of me.
It's a quarterback, a longtime quarterback for the Browns, Tim Couch.
Oh, Tim Couch. Oh.
Tim Couch. That's a tough one to not get right.
That's a bad one.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna have that for sure, Chandler. Goodness. All right, last one. Can you name the name of the university's newspaper?
Is it the Kentucky Colonel?
Bingo! Very nice, Connor. Okay. And it's like kernel, but it's like corn kernel, which I kind of appreciated a lot.
They make some great videos on.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, do they? I'll
Yeah.
have to check those out.
Just interview students, just walking to class, and you get some great interactions.
Okay, cool. All right, so we got some future high-level media people up there. It's coming to take my job. All right, I like that. Well, boys, I'll ask one more question before we leave. What does a successful season look like in 2026 for Kentucky lacrosse?
Honestly, for us, over 500, I think. Okay. Over 500, that is what we're set on this year. Like, that's our goal. We do that, I feel like we are happy. So,
Conor?
That going 500's huge for us, but I want that barrel back. So we really want to beat Tennessee.
Beat Tennessee. Get at least that one win. I like that. That's fun. It's great to see that rivalry too. It has a little, SEC vibe to it. A little more Appalachia than most SEC vibes, but and now it's brought it to the ALC, which is so awesome, and another great rivalry, which there's plenty of. I feel like they're all in Virginia, but it's nice to see one out of state that's home true. So it's exciting, guys, and we cannot thank you enough. We really, really are glad to have you in as a conference, and feel like the future is bright for a growing state and a growing school of lacrosse. So we wish you the best, and enjoy Blacksburg and getting the season started, and hopefully it goes good for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, thank you a lot. Really appreciate it.
Big thanks to Conor and Chandler for joining us and really giving a highlight about Kentucky lacrosse and what's going on at the university. We are so excited to have them as part of the Atlantic Lacrosse Conference. You can check them out at Kentucky MLax on Instagram. Go on to their bio, and they'll have all their links for fundraising, where to see them. We know that they're going to have a really great time in Blacksburg, getting a couple of games in there to start their season, and plenty of home games for all you Wildcat fans to go out and see them down in Lexington. That'll be a lot of fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this page, the ALC Sports Network, and we have a very special season preview episode with a very big guest in the club lacrosse world. So you don't want to miss that. So keep those bells, get those notifications going on the YouTubes. This is going to be one you're not going to want to miss. A full-fledged ALC breakdown with national lacrosse talk across the MCLA. That'll be a lot of fun. Like us on Instagram at Atlantic Lacrosse Conference, on X at Atlantic LC, and of course, like we said, like and subscribe here as we bid you adieu to the 2025-26 off season and get you set for the 2026 MCLA season in the Atlantic Lacrosse Conference. Who could be happier? You're just going to have to wait to find out. We'll see you next time. For our esteemed producer, Andrew Musser, I'm Dan Zumpano. We thank you for watching and listening to the ALC Sidelines podcast.